Today we're back at it. We're not going to be working in the garage though, we're going to be working in the house. We're going to be doing a DIY cleaning job on our mini split ductless air conditioner. I'm going to show you how we can do that ourselves and save between $100 and $300. I also bought this cleaning cover kit to help keep some of the mess down, and we'll see how that works. But it's not hard. If I can do it, you can do it. Stick around. Every mini split is different, so the first thing you got to do is take the shroud off. Most of them just open up like this, and then you can pull your filters out, which will probably need cleaning. These aren't too bad. We'll go ahead and clean them anyway. Typically it's just a couple of Phillips head screws that you have to undo that will release this whole cover. You may have to untangle some of these sensors that are in here. And then, after 4 bolts and a couple of clips, the whole shroud comes right off. We're just going to set that off to the side for right now. Alright, now that you got your shroud off, you can see the coil. I just had this running so you can see the condensation. This thing is running, so this is all wet here, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Coil looks pretty clean. We got to go ahead and pull that out. I need 2 hands though, so stand by. That just pops out like that. I'm going to set this off to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull these screens out because we're going to get to that squirrel cage fan that's up in there. And now we're going to set these off to the side. All right, now we got to get this cleaning cover on here. See how that goes. All right, this thing didn't come with any instructions, but it's not that complicated. So there is a drain hose that goes on here. I'll show you that in a second. And there is a Velcro strip on the front of the cover, and I think I know what that's for. So I am going to go ahead and just, it's got some elastic on it. Just going to go ahead and stretch this over. It's supposed to fit. I mean, I measured it and everything. It's supposed to fit. Okay. And it looks like it fits just perfect. But we're still learning things here because let me show you what I just noticed. Alright, like I said, there's Velcro on the top here, and this has a splash shield that comes down over the top. Not sure we're going to use it. But it also has another Velcro strip right here, and this is the back wall. And this is where these crazy things go. So these are back waterproofing film. So these pieces of film will go right up in the back here. Up under the lip, and then they'll fasten with the Velcro here. And now you can pretty much spray anything you want in here, and it is not going to get to the wall. Alright, that's what it looks like when it's all installed. I did a video a year or so ago, and if you watch the way I did it then, I just used a piece of black plastic on the wall to protect the wall, and then I made my makeshift drain down into a bucket. But this sure is going to be a way better setup. Alright, now that we've got this all set up, I'm going to take this coil cleaner and I'm going to spray it all over the coil. And this is a self-rinsing formula, so you don't necessarily have to rinse it off, but I usually put it on pretty heavy, let it set for a few minutes, rinse it off, and then do a second one. Just because I only do this once a year, and sometimes that squirrel cage fan can get pretty disgusting. Here we go, time to make a mess. All right, I don't think you can spray too much on the coil, but you definitely want to be a little careful over here where the electronics are. I don't think these terminals matter, but in here there's a circuitry, so you want to kind of stay away from that. Our goal today is to just clean the coil and all the surrounding areas. There's a squirrel cage fan up in there we're going to have to get cleaned. Then we'll go ahead and clean the coil on the outside unit. All right, here we go. The one thing I didn't use yet, not sure I'm going to use it, is there's a flap with this kit that hangs down, but honestly, I'm on a ladder, I'm doing this, I'm filming, I mean, what more could I hold? So I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. So this is just going to kind of sit here, do its thing, clean, and then it's just going to kind of dissolve and it's going to drain. Every one of these things has a drain, and there's a drain that goes outside, and we're going to make sure that that drain is clean before we're done. But all the moisture that this generates when it's on goes down the drain and drains outside, or else it would pool up all over your floor. All right, I'm going to let this sit for a minute and then we'll rinse it. All right, so we're about 40 minutes into this process cleaning, and now we're getting down to the rinse. And this is all I use to rinse. This is just a typical pump sprayer, 1 gallon you can buy from any box store. And I'm going to use this to spray that down. I just have water in it, so it's just a clean rinse. We're going to let that soak just a few more minutes, and we're going to rinse it off. All right, I use this pump sprayer because I've tried one of those self-contained ones that holds like a quart, and it's got the handle on it with the pump on the top. A lot of car detailer people use it, but I find that when it's full, it's a little bit heavy to hold up and do this, and it's just a little more cumbersome. You can just leave this jug down at your side, and then you just have to use the wand. So I just use a fine mist. You'll see the soap just rinsed down off of there. Nice gentle mist on here, and you're not going to ever hurt anything. The water, if all goes well, is draining outside down into the drain that I just told you about. I should have put a bucket out there to catch it just so you could see it. Maybe when I do the second one, I'll do that. So far, we don't have a drop of water in this thing here. It really makes a nice seal up against the wall, and it's not causing us any issues. All right, now we got to kind of get up and under here. You got to get the squirrel cage fan, which is always the worst part of this. So our little pieces on the back that we put in there, the little seal pieces, little clear plastic pieces, that's working really well. Not getting any water on the wall whatsoever. You are going to need some kind of a light though to look up in there. Now that I got the lights, I got this no-name knockoff light that works pretty well. I got my O'Reilly headlamp, not a sponsor, but make really not a sponsor, but I like your headlamps. All right, this is what we're working with. There's the squirrel cage fan. You can see the dirt on it, but you can also see the dirt that I've already washed off it. So we're just going to keep going at it and getting it nice and clean. All right, so I finished doing the cleaning, and then I sprayed a second layer of foam in on the squirrel cage fan. This coil here is all rinsed off. I'm going to put a second layer of foam on the coil, and then I'll go ahead and rinse it. Before I do any of that, I'm going to run outside and put a catch can underneath the drain to see exactly what's coming out of it. All right, this is where our drain is, and you can see there's water dripping out of it. I'm going to go ahead and put this milk jug under it, and whatever's in there when we're done will be what we got out of there. All right, we're going to go ahead and do a rinse and repeat. All right, if you've watched my channel before, you'll say, Paul, why are you doing another video about cleaning this thing? Well, I wanted to do another video to show you this bag, and this thing really makes a big difference. All of the mess is kept in this bag. Nothing has gotten out. Anything that's gone down in here has gone into this bucket, and you can see there's not a lot in there. We still have to do another rinse. It's really a game changer, and if you're going to do your own, I would recommend getting your own cover, because the way I used to do it, and now looking back on it, it was a bit barbaric. It was pretty bad. New me. All right, I'm going to do another rinse, but I got to set this camera down. You're going to watch from over there. That's the hardest part of this whole job, is filming it. All right, after we get it rinsed out, this is what we end up with. As you can see, the fan was actually blue, and I think for the most part came out pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and let that drip dry for a bit. You can see the water still dripping down through here. This is what we got out of there, so you can see definitely needed to be cleaned. I'm going to let that drip dry and we'll put it back together. These parts here, the shrouds, the deflector, and the screens, I usually just wash those by hand separately. Let's go outside and see what came out of the drain. Okay, you can see we did get some liquid out of here. That's a good sign. That means our drain is open. It means we won't have any water backed up into the house this summer. When you're out mowing the lawn and the air conditioning is on, just take a look at this drain every once in a while. It should pretty much be dripping all the time when the mini split's running, so. If it's not dripping, you may want to look into that. All right, I got everything back together. I got everything there all back together. All the screws are in, and we'll go ahead and just like that. We are now cool air, and we are all clean. So now for the coil outside, what I'll do is I have another can of coil cleaner, and I just go out and spray that coil, and then I'll hit it with a garden hose. Every year after I clean it, you get that really crisp air conditioning feel. So if you have a mini split, you really should make sure you're doing the annual cleanings because it truly does make a big difference. And you can see from the temperature gun, we're putting out about 55.5, 56 degrees. So it's going to be a nice, cool summer, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't break down. It hasn't. It's 4 years old. Mr. Cool DIY kit for the win.